I think we're live. Here we go. Well, wait a minute. This might help. Okay. Now, hopefully, you can hear me a little bit better. Um, my microphone is now in place, and my technical glitches hopefully have been resolved. So we'll just see how this goes. Are you putting yourself last? Is basically the question that I ask, and the subject of our discussion today. And this all came from a conversation that I had with a friend of mine last week. She lives in a different part of the country, so we usually do a Zoom call once a week. And we haven't done it for the past couple of weeks because I was traveling and she had some things she had to do. So we finally caught up last week and I asked her, or I called her and said, "Hey, when would you like to do this?" She goes, "I'm super busy. I've got a lot of stuff going on." And I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening here? So she proceeded to explain to me what was happening. Her mother in law, who is older, and older as in over 90, her health is declining and she's requiring a lot more time and energy as far as taking her to a doctor's appointments, arranging for care for her, all of those kinds of things. And then her husband became ill. And so now she's shuttling him to doctor's appointments, shuttling her to doctor's appointments, and still trying to work full time. And I ask her, "So, what are you doing for you?" And this is something that I know that I've seen for the past 30 years when I was doing a lot more in healthcare. And that is that when the caregiver goes down, the entire structure goes down, meaning if the person who's taking care of everybody else doesn't take care of themselves, then the whole system fails because there's nobody to take care of the people that, in this case, she was taking care of, and there's nobody to take care of her. So, understanding that, okay, so logically that makes sense, but really understanding it has a much bigger impact and that you need to spend time and do things for yourself. Typically for women, we always do everything for everybody else. And it starts out when we're young and we might be taking care of a younger sibling, or we might be doing something for other people. And it just becomes in this pattern that we have in which we will put others before ourselves. And it's actually a lot of the training or subliminal types of messaging that we get as we're growing up. It doesn't change at all when we have children because now the children, obviously, they need to become put first because they cannot survive without us. And then it transforms over into the business aspect. We're willing to jump in and help out. And this is true for men or women. Sometimes people are just that nature, they'll jump in and help rather than taking a second and thinking about, hmm, is this really something that I need to do? Is this something that I should do? And really looking at what is going to be the wear and tear on my body or the impact that it has on my business or on my professional career or on my personal life if I jump in and do this. And most of us are not really very well equipped to have that pause button, to really stop for a second and say, hmm, is this something I should do? And one of the things that I think about is um, I like sci fi movies, and the one that comes to mind is Jurassic Park. And Jeff Goldblum has a line in the movie that says, you know, we're so busy figuring out, and figuring out if this is something that it's trying to figure out how to do this, we don't stop and ask the question, should we do this? So, and I'm paraphrasing quite a bit, but basically looking at just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. And that's kind of the philosophy that a lot of us have as far as, well, I can do it. I'm going to step in and do it. Who else is going to do it? If I don't do it, nobody will. But there's always a cost associated with it, especially if you're the one that puts yourself last. So, you know, taking time out and really thinking about when you take on social obligations, or even in the case of my friend who was running everybody around for doctor's appointments and those kinds of things, not taking any time for herself, not sitting down, not resting, basically going from the time that she got up in the morning until the time she went to bed, organizing, making phone calls, being available, all that kind of stuff. It's easy to get caught up in that. I, it is drama, but it's not drama. It's real life in all of the things that are happening. But we need to take time out and just kind of step back a little bit and say, is this something I need to do now? Is this something that can wait for 15 or 20 minutes? Can I take a break and sit down and eat? Maybe I need to have a cup of coffee, or I need to have a tea, or maybe I need to meet a friend for something. In your business, it also has an impact in that you can become so tired and exhausted from doing all of the things that should be done that you don't have it. And I'm having the hardest time with these earbuds. I don't know. Maybe they're not for me. Um, and it's only the left ear, of course. Um, Maybe my right ear is bigger than my left ear. I don't know. Um, but really saying, is this something that I need to do? Because again, you're as that cornerstone person, if you go down and you're a small business owner, your whole business goes down. If you are the one who's the caretaker, caregiver in your family, if you go down, the structure and basically the care of everybody else is impacted significantly. So, really thinking about before taking on another challenge or something, or in assigning a timeline. So there's a couple of things that you can before you decide. Like for example, I'm going to get these 5 things done, and this is going to take this long. And finding out that instead of it taking 5 hours, it's taking 8 hours. So I want to give you a little bit different approach or something that you can do. And really, the first thing is to notice when you're in that space. So taking a break and say, when was the last time I had something to drink or something to eat? Or when did I go to the bathroom? Or how long has it been since, for example, I had a haircut or a massage? I'll use the example of today. I took my cats in because they needed to have their vaccinations. It's getting ready to be nice outside. They haven't had the feline leukemia shot because they've never gone out before. Now they're really starting to want to go out. So I wanted to make sure I took them in, didn't have any second thought. But then I started thinking, when was the last time I scheduled a massage for myself? I don't remember. It's been a long time. So it's easy to get sucked into that pattern of do for everyone else, do for your business, for your in your personal life, for other people that are around you, um, and starting to implement something where before you say yes, you take a deep breath and you exhale and you think, can I fit this in? Will this work in my schedule? And the biggest question of all is, do I really want to do this? If you don't, and it's not something that you feel obligated to do because it's a family member, then maybe you shouldn't do it. If it's something that you are obligated, can you negotiate the date? Does it make any difference if an appointment's put off one day or one week? Some things it might, other things it might not. So, really taking a look at that portion of it and deciding. So, just as a quick kind of recap, it's easy for us to put ourselves last, to think about everybody else, to do everything that needs to get done, to do the grocery shopping and fix the meals, and then to set up appointments for everybody. And then in our business, oh, I need to do this or this needs to be done now. But again, keeping in mind that each of us has a finite amount of energy, and we want to save that energy for the most important things, but we also need to make an investment in ourselves. And it's hard to do. I admit I was right there, especially when I look back on my calendar and I cannot find the last date when I had a massage. It's like, "Ooh, that's not a good thing." It used to be every month and then kinda got out of that habit, and now so it's time to get back into that and do something for me because I want to do the best that I can in my personal life. I want to be able to dance tango for decades more. I want to be able to do well within my business and have great personal relationships. I don't want to feel bad or have my health decline or only to be halfway present in the things that I do and the things that I like to do. So that's kind of it for me today. Let me know if there is something that you do for you that you really enjoy that makes a difference. It gives you that kind of time out from the helter skelter um, world in which we have a tendency to get into. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye for now.